Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Woo! Great news again, man! Oh man, it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun year. We've been through the hardcore years. Last year was kind of not too bad, but man, we are ready to rally. We are ready to rally, and boy, what a day today it is. Now we're going to get into all the details. Obviously, the big news out yesterday: Richard Hart defeats the SEC. We got a response from Richard. I didn't have that response yesterday, so we're covering it today. So that's kind of pretty awesome. Richard Hart defeated the SEC. A lot of the big boys in crypto, they didn't do it. They ended up paying out money, and we looked at that yesterday. But Richard Hart, he defeated the SEC. Pretty awesome, and his timing's been pretty impeccable too with the new administration. Trump, of course, in favor. Now we're going to be looking at a number of Trump associates that have independence, but that are supporting the crypto. We've got a couple of big news items for that today, so that's going to be really interesting for you. Just showing you how much strong the backing is from Trump and Trump supporters in and around the White House there. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Now, obviously, people in the White House have to have his arm lengths, but these are all people outside, so it's all legit. So it's kind of cool. It's going to be pretty incredible. Now, the other thing, of course, we're going to get into is all the market results. So we're going to look at Pulse Chain, Titanx pumping today. We're going to have a look at all those as well. Printed tokens doing particularly well today. So we've got a lot to talk about, and we're going to obviously stock market pump big time today on news of Besant. They're talking about that in a private meeting, kind of private meeting that that the trades with China hopefully will end up ending soon. Trump's pretty bullish about that, so we're going to get into all that news too. Without further ado, let's get into the chat there. Make sure you get into the comments. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Now, I've just got to make sure I repost on X. So if you're not there, if you're on X, you remember to repost. Particularly, we're going to be talking about something else today too. We're going to be talking about Nexion. So Nexion's coming up. I've got 2 items for Nexion today. So you guys are going to hear about Nexion, and it is going to be, I think, a pretty significant DeFi offering on Pulse Chain that people don't want to miss out on. So we're going to talk about Nexion. Let's see here. So let me just repost this, and boom, there we go. And I'm going to give you a copy so you guys can send it around as well. So repost the show on X, and here it is there. That's the link. Now, we've got quite a few people in the chat already. We've got some founders or leaders, at least. We've got some leaders in the chat here. That is the link there. So share it around. Just go and smash that repost. Share it around right now on X. And, of course, if you're on Rumble, smash the repost button. If you're on YouTube, share it around. Share it around. Share the love. And we've got Fat Sammy in the house there. The leaders of the Pulse Bitcoin. A big shout out there, Fat Sammy. Fat Sammy, many of you may know or not know, used to be a community leader in our Discord. So big shout out to Fat Sammy. What a day for crypto. What a day indeed, Fat Sammy. It's pretty cool. Hexcavator as well. Hey, gang. Good to see you, Hexcavator. Building out the USA. Man, Hexcavator, you're going to have jobs forever under the Trump, golden era. You're going to be working a lot there. So it's cool. You can DCA into more crypto. TJ in the house there. Let's begin the pump. Amen to that. That's all I can say. Amen to that. That is true. We got Wookie as well, a community leader in the house there. Wookie is here for Wookie. Woohoo! A nice one. That one actually made sense, Wookie. That's kind of cool. All right. We got property viewers in the house as well. Great show as always. Bitcoin high today. It certainly is smashing back over the 90K. The old Bitcoin. It is looking good. A black swan could be a breakdown in US peace talks with Ukraine. Watch out for that one. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to really affect the markets too much. We see that Russia reaching out for direct bilateral talks with Ukraine for the first time, but we'll see how that plays out. Certainly a lot of games and shenanigans going on there, and we'll probably do an update on that at some stage. What else there? We got Tinder in house there. Treasury yields, both EHEX and PHEX, just for the holding. Absolutely. And look, EHEX did pretty well overnight, and I've been pretty bullish about EHEX. And then, of course, we all had dip catches. Was it FlexHex or HexFlex yesterday launched, and we went through that a bit. And we got Crypto Utah in the house there. Big shout as well. Hey, look, I mean, Titanx ecosystem took off a bit today. Certainly, some of the better quality projects really ticked up there. And I think maybe Utah, you launched a few new products today. We're gonna have a look at Titanx today, anyway. So that is on the menu. Chum yum 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 yum. We're gonna eat that. Hey, look, because a lot of the buy and burns are turned off, right? So they're turned on, and we got the omni-chain strategy. If you're buying low down here at these levels, I'm sure you're going to be very happy indeed with Titanx once it goes back on the rage, once it's back in style, once it's going to run away pretty quickly once they do all that sort of stuff. All right, so that's Crypto Utah in house. Big shout out, another developer here. Never fear, yeah, like Brocky Balboa. I don't know. I gotta stop this craziness. All right. I appreciate it. You guys are too kind. Let's get straight into the markets, folks. And don't forget to follow the socials, the Discord, the Telegram, X. It's all in the video description. Follow today and become part of our awesome community. Our alpha list is in Telegram. It's free and it's been updated yesterday. So big shout out to MVS there, our promotional lead in our team. If you are a team out there and you want promotions, we are out there to find the fair balance and help people out. So either hit me up or hit MVS up about doing promotions for your project, and we can talk to you about that. So let us know. We are open-minded to that, and we like win-win outcomes for everybody. So that's kind of the play there. All right, let's see. Let's jump into it. The stock market results. So we've got the S&P 500 rallies big time, and not just small, but quite decent actually, on US trade China war de-escalation hopes. Well, we've got the Dow Jones up 2.66%. Over 1,000 points, can you believe it? Over 1,000 points to 39,187. And the thing about this, the Dow Jones is kind of like got the top 30 industrials in it, and that's kind of a bellwether, indicator. So it's doing pretty well. You can see on the daily here. Look at the ramp up on that thing. Look at the ramp up on that chart. I think that's the Dow Jones. Let me double check. No, it's not the Dow Jones. It's Dow Jones. But look at that big pump at the beginning of the day. Woo! That is huge. All right, we got the S&P 500. That is up 2.5% at the moment, to 129 points at 5,287. And then we got the Nasdaq there, which has got all the tech companies in it, is up 2.7%, which is absolutely huge. And that's 429 points to 16,300. You can see that ratcheting up over the day as well in the little mini chart there. Now, the US dollar is sitting below 100, which is unbelievable. That makes US more competitive, but arguably feeds into inflation where, prices are going to be a bit higher for imported inflation. And we've got that at 99.185 at the moment. So that's kind of good for the United States competition. Let's go to the commodities. And, of course, West Texas oil there at $64 is up 0.7%. And Brent oil there at just under $68 is up about 0.9% there. But it's way down from where it used to be under the Trump there. So Trump's definitely been, dealing with the oil prices either intentionally or intentionally, but de-intentionally or unintentionally. That's probably the right one. We got the gold there is down from its record highs. What was yesterday? It's at 3,350 at the moment, and silver there at $32.53. So still looking pretty good there. Now, some of the moves, of course, in the stock market, it's going to be volatile. We're still in that volatile period. Besant tease up hopes of U.S. trade de-escalation. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent reportedly said that he expects de-escalation in the ongoing tariff standoff between the U.S. and China in the very near future, and that was from CNBC. The next steps with China are no one thinks the current status is sustainable. This is the big line, right? So this is the one that's helped the market pop there. The market was also already slightly leaning green, but this really made it pop in terms of pumping on the stock market. This comment here, and that was regarding tariff rate levels at their current levels. Bessent said at a private investor summit hosted by JP Morgan Chase. And of course, the Treasury Secretary said he expects there will be a de-escalation in the U.S.-China trade war in the very near future. A person in the room told CNB. Now, we also saw Trump there signing in the new SEC lead, and he was very bullish about the China deal, and that deal would probably be made eventually. A lot of pressure on China, of course, at the moment. They also have a lot of internal problems in China. So some people are talking about potential coup as well. I hope not, because who knows where the military will take us, right? Where the Chinese military will take us. We got so that's kind of where we are there. The remarks come on the heels of Bloomberg report citing individuals present at the event that Treasury Secretary anticipates a de-escalation of the situation. Fed speakers, so this is switching topic a little bit. meanwhile continued to rise concern that the impact of tariffs. The Minneapolis Federal Reserve President Neil Kashkari flagged worries about a tariff-driven recession following a sharp turn lower in economic confidence in the wake of President Donald Trump's tariff rollout. Well, that would obviously lead to interest rate cuts and money printing. So it's probably a good thing for us. Richmond Fed President Thomas Barkin, however, delivered remarks that were in sharp contrast to those of his colleagues on inflation, saying that inflation expectations may have loosened. So this suggests that the Richmond Fed president's focus could be on the other Fed's mandate maximum employment as opposed to inflation, pointing to possible backing of rate cuts if the labor market deteriorates. So that's kind of where we headed there. So a lot of pressure on interest rates because we've got oil prices coming down. That's good. We need interest rates coming down too, and that will be lower inputs into the economy, and the economy can really, really boom. Lots more lending, lots more spending, lots of stuff. And of course, with Trump's supply side approach to the golden crypto, golden crypto, golden age of America, that's those are required, right? So, and you can dampen down inflation by opening up supply. That's kind of the logic there. All right, so that is the bullish news on stock market, and of course that flowed into, you guessed it, crypto, which is pretty cool. And we like the big crypto screen, so we're going to do full-on screen day today. This is Green Day. Have you guys ever heard the band Green Day? This is Green Day today. We got Tinder in the house there. Thanks for the stream and putting your face out there in the Wild West crypto world. Hey, you're most welcome. We got Eddie in the house as well. A nice pump is in order, indeed, especially for PulseChain. PulseChain really hasn't moved today, apart from some of the categories that we're going to talk about. But the Richard Art core coins haven't moved. Wookie is here for Rocky, says Wookie. I like that. I appreciate that. Now, we're going to get in here. Bitcoin at $93,750. That's pretty badass. And we're up 7.1%. Woohoo! That's awesome. And a Bitcoin dominance at 62.63%. 62.63%. We've got Ethereum, of course, is on the other side. We're having a major pump today, but still well below the $2,000, right? Still well below the $2,000. And we're up 11.7%, but that's a pretty good move in the day. But we want to start getting some 20 and 30% days, don't we? And we got the Solana is up 9.5%, ADA up 10% at 68 cents, Tron up 0.5% almost at 24 cents. And what do we got there? XRP up 7%, $2.22. BNB up 3.7% at $618. And we got ADA. I talked about ADA. We got SuChain there up pretty awesome. That's what we want to see, right? More of this 26%, $2.76. That's what we really want to see there. SuChain there up pretty strong today. We want to see more of that. And we want to see re-ratings. We want to see X's within weeks, right? X's within weeks. But that's a good start. It's a good start and heading in the right direction. So that's kind of cool. That is where we are on the cryptos. Let's have a look at the rankings. Total market cap on crypto. Woohoo! Over 3 trillion. Yeah, baby. 3 trillion there, and that's probably another 10x to get to gold's market cap. So the law of convergence, let's bring it on. 3 trillion up 5.2%. Nice to be heading in the right way. And of course, what were we down only a few days ago? We're down at 2.5 trillion. So nice to be back at 3 trillion there. Very, very cool. And in the rankings, we've got Bitcoin number 1, Ethereum number 2, XRP number 4, BNB number 5, Solana number 6, we got Dogecoin number 8, Cardano number 9, and Tron at number 10. Those are our top 10 on CoinGecko. Now, in terms of the best performance, let's see here. The best performance is Dogecoin or Dogecoin. You have to excuse me with my pronunciation there, the old Kiwi accent. It's up 13%. And then the next best is Ethereum, up 11.5%. So nice to see Ethereum in the mix here. A lot of people criticizing Ethereum. Obviously, we've got super low Gwei, generally speaking, on Ethereum these days. Well sub one Ether there. And so let's see. In terms of the top over the last week, looks like the best performer has been Solana, up 17.8%. And of course, that came off its sort of mojo in January back. It seems to be getting its mojo back at $148.80. Dogecoin there, number 2, is up 15.6%. Then Bitcoin 11.7%, and Ethereum at 10.5%. So those kind of your leaders in the top 10. Looking at the best ones in the top 100, we got Bonk. Everyone likes to get a bonk on the head. We got Bonk 25.3%. Fartcoin has been pretty dominant. That's up 24.4%. SuChain there up 24.9%. Immutable is up 25%. And finally, number 5, Curve is up 17.7%. So those are the top 5 in the last 24 hours. Over the last week, in the top 100, we got BitTensor or Tau token is up 44.8%. So it's a pretty good gain in a week. And we got Stacks up 39.6%. Artificial Super Intelligent Alliance or FET token is up 38.3%. For those who like the AI theme, that is pretty cool. And once again, Fartcoin making the top 5 at number 4, 37%, and Immutable there up 37%. So those are kind of your leaders at the moment in the top 100. So if you want to get sort of a blue chippy type of crypto, top 100 is probably your zone. If you want to go a little bit next level, maybe top 2, top 300 coins, and then you got to pick off the ones you really think are going to outperform within those sort of top 300, let's say. All right, so that's kind of the play there. Let's have a look at some of the top gainers overall. So there's about 17,000 tokens on CoinGecko Index. We got Zero Bro there is up there. Hey, Zero Bro, how you going? Hey, what's happening? What's happening, Zero Bro? We're up 130%. We got Deep Book there up 124%, and Dark Eclipse up 76%. So there's a few movers there. Trending at the moment, Arc Block, Cubic, and Su Chain, and they're all green as well. So not bad there in the markets. Not bad at all. All right, so that is kind of overall where we're heading. But let's deep dive into Bitcoin. And of course, the circle of volatility is in play. And we've busted out of it. We've busted out of this volatility. I am still expecting volatility potentially for a couple of weeks more. But this is kind of the main part around when we had the tariffs, right? So we got 5th of April there, and we had the 10% tariffs, and then we had the specific tariffs on the 9th. And of course, we had all the drama there with the markets wiping out, and particularly stock market, and we recovered there. Now, what's the good news? What do you see in this chart? Well, we see the moving averages avoiding a death cross and getting ready for another golden cross. We got exactly what we asked for. We asked for green candles, and we got them. And so far, we have the 50-day at 86,000, and the 200-day in orange. The orange line is currently at 85,202. So we've opened that gap to $800 now between the two. And of course, the golden cross is still in play. We avoided it also back here in September, and we are going from one parabolic to another. And let's bring on the next one, because the next one could be glorious, all the way up to 150K or so. We've done 108K, and of course we did that back here on. What did we do this back here on the 20th of January? We did 109,000 actually, 358 on CoinGecko, on Coinbase, and that was pretty glorious. So bring on the next move, right? Bring on the next move. So we will have volatility. I'm still expecting volatility in the next few weeks, but we're going to have a very bullish outcome over the next sort of 80 days, isn't it? So how many days have we got to go, actually? Let's have a look. We got, where's 4th of July? So, we got 72 days. So what's that? Just under 2.5 months away. And I do expect a bit more volatility maybe in the next week or two, but I'm expecting a lot of deals to be done, particularly the top 15 countries in the trade deals. We're going to get a lot of those done. And then we've only got, maybe 4 or 5, including China, that are under the squeeze at the moment. So we're going to watch those deals be done in relationships there. That's why Trump keeps it open. Got a great relationship with President Xi and all that sort of stuff. So bring it on. So far, so good. That's kind of where we are there at the moment. So this circle of volatility, we could say probably going to last just a little bit longer, and it's probably a little bit bigger, right? Because, we've still got some of this China stuff going on. And once that settles down, it's just going to be absolute game on. But before that, we're going to get, probably good deals coming out of Japan, South Korea and places like that. So expecting some good news there as well. And that leads us into some of the bullish news coming out, because we've got some good news here. Trump Media and Crypto.com team up to launch Bitcoin Kronos ETFs. So the Trump family here, moving ahead, right? So they're not in government, right? Remember how none of the Trump people are in the government this time, unlike last time. So they're free to do what they will, right? They're free to do what they will. And of course, that is going to be making mad gains. Mad gains. Now, obviously, they caused a lot of fuss with the old Trump meme token and the Melania meme token and all stuff like that, because it took a lot of attention out and sucked a lot of money out of all the chains, including Ethereum. But hey, look, it's going to be, I think, going to be pretty good at the end. So we've got Trump Media Inc.'s agreement with Crypto.com and Yorkville to launch a digital asset ETF, exchange-traded fund, including Bitcoin and Kronos. ETFs will be distributed globally under TMTG's fintech platform, Truth.fi, pending a regular approval. Crypto.com aims to file for a Kronos spot ETF in Q4 as part of its 2025 roadmap. So this is going to be pretty awesome during the golden era of crypto and the golden era of America and the world. As we've got Trump media expands into fintech through ETF launch. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Fintech, the initiative will be managed under Truth.fi. Fintech platform launched in January 2025. At the launch, they committed up to $250 million to deploy into ETFs and separately managed accounts, or SMAs. Charles Schwab has been named as custodian of the fund. The agreement follows a non-binding announcement made in March alongside the ETFs. Trump's media is planning to introduce Truth.fi branded SMAs, though no information was released. Now, obviously, they're probably going to go through a lot of Truth Social stuff as well. So I wouldn't be surprised. All this stuff's going to get expanded and integrated. Products will go live globally following regulatory approval and rollout plans across the United States, Europe, and Asian markets, all the high-income countries. Crypto.com will play a key role in distributing Trump's media's ETFs internationally. So obviously one of the bigger exchanges out there described the partnership as aligning with platforms' broader strategy to integrate, of course, traditional and digital financial channels. Part of its 2025 roadmap, Crypto.com plans to submit a filing for its Kronos spot ETF in the fourth quarter. So it could be something, keep an eye on there. Maybe put that in your calendar to keep on Kronos there. Additionally, a platform native stablecoin is scheduled for launch in Q3 2025. And of course, stablecoins are going to become a big part there with the Trump administration supporting those as well. While a few specifics have been disclosed, stablecoin has tended to support cross-border transactions, platform liquidity, and decentralized finance integration. Yorkville American Digital CEO Troy Rilo confirmed the ETF collaboration as a strategic development aimed at aligning new financial products with domestic market interests. So that's pretty bullish, right? Like I say, this year it's going to be unbelievable, guys. Honestly, just we've got the head of the United States here fully backing digital and crypto. You guys, it's just going to be insane, dude. It's just like, man, and he's setting up the US and the world economy for just the bullish economics you've ever seen in your life. And look, I'll be surprised we ever see any. Honestly, be surprised if we get standard politicians back in, with their corrupt agendas. We'll never see the likes of this in our lifetime. This next 4 years, obviously we're setting up the foundation. It's volatile in the foundation because you've got to unpick all the bad and evil stuff that the old regime did. Then you've got to, it's going to be unbelievable, guys. Honestly. It's going to be crazy. Now, another one, of course, we had is Cantor nears $3 billion crypto venture with SoftBank. So that was a pretty bullish outcome. In fact, I'm going to move over here to other screen. So Cantor here nears $3 billion crypto venture. That's going to be pretty awesome with SoftBank and Tether. So another stable coin coming in here, right? Again, Brandon Lucknick, the son of U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lucknick, is partnering with SoftBank, Tether, and Bitfinex to capitalize on a cryptocurrency revival under President Trump. The consortium is creating a multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin acquisition vehicle that will absorb billions in cryptocurrency from the other partners and use the funds in an attempt to replicate the success of MicroStrategy. So, they want to do another kind of MicroStrategy. I mean, that's huge, right? That's massive for crypto. And of course, they'll start off smaller, but that's the idea is that that's their goal. Pretty epic. So, let's want to say everybody's jumping on board. And we're still early. We're still very early. It's going to be crazy. Like I say, I think the 4th of July is going to be a very important turning point. The Trump strategy will have been laid. The federal budget dealt with. The taxes dealt with. The early regulatory gains dealt with. And then, of course, the World Trade Order reorganized those things. Just fundamental. And, of course, on top of that, over $7 trillion worth of capital already raised. I mean, previously, you might have been lucky if you did a trillion through the federal government. And now you're already within 100 days. You've got $7 trillion of investment going into all the latest developments like AI and semiconductors, car manufacturing, ship manufacturing, oil and gas, LNG. I mean, it's all coming. Like I said, people just have no idea. I've talked to some people recently, and it's like I don't want to make any comments, but it wasn't a very, very enlightening conversation. But we're going to move on. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. It's going to be mind-blowing, dude. It's mind-blowing. It's what's happening. So pretty cool. So the consortium, it's going to be pretty huge, multi-billion dollars. MicroStrategy, of course, has become a sensation in the market. The Lucknick vehicle, special purpose acquisition company, is seeking to create a public listed alternative alongside some of the biggest industry's biggest and often most controversial traders of crypto. The vehicle, called Cantor Equity Partners, raised $200 million in January and will use the cash to create a new firm called 21 Capital. It will receive $3 billion in Bitcoin from other cryptocurrency investors and trading firms. Tether would contribute 1.5 billion of Bitcoin, while SoftBank and Bitfinex would contribute 900 and 600 million respectively of the digital currency. And people added Tether and Bitfinex are owned by the same parent company and share some of the same leadership. Lightnick's vehicle will also raise 350 million convertible bonds and separate 200 million private placement of equity to buy additional Bitcoin. More buying coming in. More buying. It's buy. That's what's happening. That's kind of the magical stuff for today, I think. It's true. All right, so that's kind of cool. We got in 2021, Tether and Bitfinex settled large regulatory investigations with New York State Attorney General. And of course, the Trump administration has promised a more accommodative stance to crypto trading, which is going to be awesome. Cantor Fitzgerald has already been a beneficiary, advising on Tether's 775 million investment. So that's kind of cool. And Bitcoin's price is obviously rallied big time. So there's a lot of good stuff coming here for crypto, and it's only warming up here. And pretty much full, Trump and non-Trump supporters are pushing this. So it's going to be pretty epic. You guys here at the right time, at the right place, which brings us into Richard Hart. Let's see if we've got any more comments in there. Wookie says they are rubbish Green Day. Yeah, I'm not a big fan myself, but I always make a joke about it because when we were Green Day in crypto. We got Hex Amigo in house there. Good morning. Good to see you, Hex Amigo. Big shout out there as well. Hey, look, we've got a good crowd watching at the moment, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the follow button. And, of course, smash the like button over on Rumble, over on X, over on YouTube. And, of course, definitely smash that out. And don't forget, join our Discord. The link's in the video description. Join our Telegram. That link's in the video description as well. Telegram is free. We also have an alpha list there that got posted yesterday. Definitely check that out. And if you haven't joined our strategy club in Discord, join up today. I put in my top 10 protocols there for the post SEC defeat. You don't want to miss out on that. That link is in the video description. Join up today for that. That is pretty epic. So kind of cool. All right. So let's get into it. Richard Hart, he finally spoke. And of course, here he is today. The SEC notified the court, says Richard, that does not intend to file an amended complaint. And as you guys know, I said it was probably like a 99% chance of not happening because it was such a bad case. And I mean, I know a lot of people could have written a much better case than not even lawyers. And also, you also had the fact that the judge thought it was crap, and so they got thrown out as well. And Richard had pretty much the best lawyers in the United States working on it, so it's pretty. It was pretty hard for them. And their deadline to do so has expired. The court previously dismissed the SEC's entire case. Richard Hart, Pulsechain, PulseX, Hex have defeated the SEC completely and have achieved regulatory clarity that nearly no other coins have, and that's a very important point, right? And have achieved regulatory clarity that no other coins have. Imagine Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex have been, taken to court, and that would be terrible for blockchain, terrible for free speech. It would have been a disaster. So some very big wins there from Richard Hart. And of course, unlike the others, he fought the big fight, and he brought the big players to the fight. So it was pretty epic. They're now safe, and the media, as far as I know, hasn't really covered it, right? Because this is typically how it works, right? They only like to cover their little propagandas, but this is real victory here, real victory for freedom. They're now safer to work with in ways that almost no other coins are. The SEC walked away from some other cryptocurrency cases voluntarily, but this is the only case where the SEC lost and crypto won across the board. And you got to give your hats off to Richard for that, with a dismissal in court of every single claim the SEC brought. I mean, amazing, right? So it was a huge victory, and you got to give your hats off to Richard Hart. I mean, you got to have a lot of staying power. You got to have a lot of emotional control when you got a big government entity like the SEC after you, and you're not playing games anymore. You're not playing games, and so you've got to have control. You've got to have hopefully have the weapons to fight back, which Richard did, and what a victory it has been. So hats off to Richard Hart there. Pretty impressive. And what does that mean for the future of Pulsechain now that you haven't got this cloud hanging over the chain? It's going to be unleashed, and I think it's very exciting. It certainly allows capital to flow. Capital can flow and flock and flow. It can be so awesome. I don't know. I'm coming up with the poetry today, but it's people seem to like it. I don't know what it is. People seem to like it. We got Brendan House there. RH, the next pope, says Brendan. I'm not sure about that. We don't want to, give him such a such a job. But hopefully they'll get an Orthodox Pope. But if you're a Catholic out there, hopefully you get an Orthodox Pope this time. We got this is a victory for open source software, cryptocurrency, and free speech. The SEC actually sued software code itself in this case. I mean, it is crazy, isn't it? Claiming it could be an alter ego of a person, also crazy. This would have set a terrible precedent and perhaps cause multiple billions of dollars of damage to the vital open source and free software industry that powers most of the internet and your speech on it. So that's pretty cool. And of course, that was the release there. He's had 250,000 views on that. That's pretty awesome since yesterday. So yeah, I mean, that's 22 hours. He's had 250,000 views. So excellent work there from Richard. Fantastic. All right, so that there is from Richard. Now, we also have more good news coming out. This is a real news flows day today. We got the SEC published a statement from Commissioner Mark Ueda. I've got to say that correctly. Ueda on April the 21st, following the swearing in of Paul Atkins as the agency's new chairman. Ueda, I should say, who had served as acting chairman for the past 3 months after being designated by Donald Trump, president, acknowledged the transition while reflecting on his personal history with the agency. He highlighted pretty much that we have accomplished many things since January. We established a crypto task force and withdrew enforcement regulations and registration-only cryptos. We replaced SAB 121 and held public roundtables on what regulation of crypto should look like. So very open-minded there, moving away from the lawfare that we had under the Bidens. So pretty cool. So there were some good achievements there. And yeah, the crypto community has largely welcomed SEC shift under acting chair Ueda, viewing it as a departure from the aggressive enforcement tactics of Gary Gensler. Boo, Gary Gensler. Ueda there has openly criticized previous approach as a disaster, and it was a disaster. They're just a little. Honestly, the Democrats are just full of narcissists. Honestly, they're full of narcissists. Pretty crazy. They're full of narcissists. Under his leadership, the SEC has initiated a crypto task force and proposed time limit exemptions to foster innovation while awaiting comprehensive legislation. So very, very, very cool indeed. So that is good news for the markets again. So the regulators are really coming online. So Richard Hart beats the regulator. Regulators are pivoting from lawfare over to just proper legislation to protect consumers, and consumers need protection. You guys know that. But having clear stuff out there is very cool. Not being securities and all that sort of good stuff. What else there? We got TJ says, "I'll give this some stream time." Says TJ. All right, so we got the results at the moment. So for those that missed Pulse Chain is a full system stake fork of Ethereum. It was forked on the 10th of May 2023. It then launched a couple of days later on the 13th of May 2023. And there were some very large, what we call approach to capital raising with no expectations called sacrifices. And we had that for PulseChain and PulseX and a number of other third-party protocols that launched on PulseChain like Liquid Loans. And here we are at 712 days later. That's pretty much the background. And the price of Pulse at the moment, very friendly to get into. And so we're going to talk about that in reference to the sacrifice average price that people got in on. So at the moment, Pulse Chain is at quadruple 0344, down 1%. So not really picking up on today's FOMO with stock markets and crypto market. But after yesterday had a decent day, 10 plus day. But what I suspect that we're seeing here is just a bit of a quiet, one of those counterintuitive moves before we get a real rally in the old Pulse Chain. Now, we are still in the period of volatility, at least for a couple more weeks. We've got to get these deals coming out for these trade deals. That will start to really pump the market up. But we also don't want it to overheat as well. We would sort of slowly progress. And that's kind of where we are. So at the moment, we're at 34% of the mean sacrifice price. In other words, you're getting quite the discount there. And so, yeah, it is a pretty cool place to accumulate at the moment. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0286, down 2.5%, sitting at 29%, just under 29% of the mean sacrifice price. That's the average price that people got in when they sacrificed for a project. And so pretty cool there. And the buy and burn is back to normal. We're back to normal here. 1,387 billion. We're at 7.02% of the PulseX has been bought up and burned. Remember, PulseX is the DEX. Pulse is the chain, the blockchain. So the PulseX DEX is a dual token as well. It also has what we call the incentive token, and that was to provide incentives to farming. However, that sort of dynamics, that incentive has been changed. So it's been moving behaviors ultimately. So incentive token there is actually up 2.8% at $1.61, performing very well. This was only down at like $1.16 only a few days ago. now $1.61, so it's pretty exciting. The supply is sitting around 55 million or so. The inflation got cut 20x. So it's only 5% of what it used to be. This was done by Richard Hart's team. And look, it's down at 5%. So it's only 0.03 ink per second. And of course, that equates to about 2,600 ink per day. So it's not a lot. Therefore, you've cut the inflation down dramatically. And therefore, the existing supply is a lot more precious. We also have a Master Chef contract that maybe once the fair distribution has gone on with the Pulse incentive, we could see that the keys get removed, the God mode keys, and of course it gets handed over to a DAO, and we could have all sorts of things going in Pulse Chain. Could be pretty exciting for sure. It may not be Richard that's the catalyst for that, but actually the people's chain of Pulse Chain, right? Could be pretty bullish there. And of course, having less tokens around means that people can really clamor over them and push the price up. So that could be very exciting indeed. Now, Hex as well, it also had its inflation cut from about 7.5 hex per T-share down to about 1.6 hex per T-share, with a lot of OA sacrifice wallet staking short and long term in a ladder. And that has helped to reduce the inflation both on EHEX and PHEX. Currently, PHEX at the moment is at 74 hundredths of a penny, EHEX at 21 hundredths of a penny. EHEX having a good day in the office, and I've been saying it's a good day because it's a pretty good opportunity in EHEX. We also saw the combined price there. It's sitting at 96 hundredths of a penny, so we're almost back at 1 cent for combined price of HEX. Now, so obviously we've got the same dynamics. Inflation is down. We've also got Dipcatcher launching a big new protocol on EHEX, which I'm particularly bullish about. EHEX is the genesis, the original HEX, way back from the 2nd of December, 2019. And so it's kind of the OG. It's the OG. And then we've got the forked Pulse one there, which is kind of the king of the hill, as it were, on the old Pulse chain. So it's going to be fun to see that play out too. All right, so those are kind of things that we've seen happening at the moment. Let's jump over to the gas prices and get into that. So gas prices at the moment here is at just under 6 million beats. So this moves around a lot. We're at 7 cents for a PulseX swap at the moment, but 7 million is not too bad, or 6 million now. It's just been 6 million. Let's go down to validators. We've got 49,372 validators, and hopefully over time we're going to just get better and better quality sort of validators sitting back earning some nice yield, 10 to 12% of yield. But there are other alternatives, I think, like Validator X and other stuff out there. There's probably a good half a dozen alternatives, if not more now, depending on how you describe, what sort of mechanism they're using. Some riskier than others. But if you're talking about pure validators, there's at least a couple, maybe 3 or 4 at least out there. All right, let's go to the bridge. The bridge at the moment is kind of a health check. Man, it is up nice today. What's that up? About $4 million. I think it's up about $4 million today. So it's a nice move. Of course, that's reflecting a lot of the Bitcoin and Ethereum on the chain. And what else we got there? Yeah, I'm expecting to see some moves in Coast. We should probably see some moves in Coast soon. Sitting at 9.6 million. And of course, in stable coins, we've got 4 liquidity forks on Pulse Chain that are native to Pulse Chain. What's the Ink Printer, USDL, PXDC, HexDC, and then we've got the 5th one. We've got the Coast, which is a fiat-backed one. That's the one that you can directly, if the bridge is struggling a little bit, you can have directly onboard to Pulse Chain through the Coast protocol with fiat currency, right? And you should probably set that up as a backup too, if that's something that you're keen on. Now, the other thing, of course, we're waiting for a true algorithmic stablecoin, and we're looking forward to PUSD ALGO for that, and that's coming from Jacob in due course. However, we're still waiting for Tetra to launch, and then the Signum Oracle will launch, and then we'll get an update about PUSD, but we know that a developer team has been put into PUSD. I hope that they get it to market quick. We don't need any more of this 12-month, 18-month developments with these things, so I really hope that people are starting to get their, get stuff out in this market cycle. No more of this 18-month crap. If you're doing a project that's that long, you got to have a very good reason for it, right? It's got to be either incredibly complicated or you just get stuff done. I mean, really, some of the teams need to get their stuff out and not mucking around. There we go. You hit it for me. That's my opinion, of course, just my opinion. But that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let's get in here, and we're going to get some into cool stuff around the markets. So let's have a look at the results at the moment. So we've got $28.3 million in volume, and we got almost 400,000 transactions at the moment on the chain. Pretty awesome. Now, I'm going to be talking about Nexion today. So Nexion is going to be very exciting. I've got a video coming out for Nexion later on today, so keep a lookout for that. It's going to be published, of course, on YouTube, on Rumble, on X. So you guys are going to hear all about it. Nexion is going to be offering, I think, some incredibly frontier and innovative DeFi coming up with its Glow product. So you guys are going to watch that video later on. I'll be releasing that later today, probably, I don't know, maybe 9 hours from now, something like that. So keep a lookout for that. Nexian could be a huge thing on Pulse Chain. And it's already been around for 3.5 months, but they've got new product waves launching, which are going to think quite a game changer. Very democratized DeFi, and I really like that angle. So keep a lookout for that. That's coming up. Nexian. It's going to be a pretty big deal there, and it's going to have some pretty incredible offerings that I think a lot of people are going to love. So you can check that out with the Neon token that's coming out later today. Keep a lookout for that. We got Crypto Bro in house there. Dark Horse, best meme coin on Pulse Chain, only if into things that are rad. Yeah, hey, look, I love Dark Horse. I think it's definitely one of the best memes on Pulse Chain, without a doubt. The graphics, I don't know if anyone's got better graphics so far. I mean, it really is tough. There are a couple of good graphics, but man, Dark Horse is right at the top there. Big shout out to Crypto Bro for sure. We got Mosaic in the house there. Hell yeah, Nexian. Hey, look, yeah, I think Nexian is going to be incredible. You guys, once you watch the video, hopefully that will really open your eyes to the Nexian. I think it's definitely going to be one of the bigger platforms there. So, we'll check it out. Keep a lookout. It's coming later today. All right, so you're going to see some sneak peeks, by the way. Some sneak peeks from Nexian that haven't been published. So wait, it's coming. It's coming. It's going to be good. Anyway, in the markets today, we've got Emerald at the moment at the top, 486%, been around for 19 hours. Just looks like some token that someone started. Not sure if there's anything particularly special about it, but it's certainly been pumping there at the moment. I don't know what the safety about it is, so I haven't done the safety. Like I say, because we've got new tokens launching every day, I'm not endorsing any of these, right? I have to make that clear. I'm just saying what is performing at the moment. And some of them may, unfortunately, end up being scams, like we saw with that PUSD the other day. That was a complete scam. So just be very careful. Don't rush into something, especially after it's pumped, hundreds or thousands of percent. You do need to do due diligence before participating. And of course, some of those you can use the AI checker or the Pulse Police. There are different ways of doing those security checks if you're not a coder yourself. So we got Missile there at the moment. It's looking pretty good. So we got a lot of the printer tokens. These are printer token means you buy the token. It does a lot of volume stuff on the market. There's high volumes, and it drops you particular tokens to your wallet, like Pulse or Hex or something like that, or PDI. This is what we talk about, printer tokens, right? And so these are performing very well. And of course, the dominator of these on Pulse Chain is OG WebChef. So he dominates this, and he's got a ton of tokens here, and they get them out. So at the moment, Missile is up 116%, so a massive pump. It's been around for 6 months, so this is one of the longer ones. We've got Finvestor, which is kind of the grandfather of all these printer tokens, and that is doing pretty well. That's got a tax, so it's a little different. It's got a tax on this one. But I think it's about 5%. It's got a tax on this one, 51% today. So that's kind of the parent. Imagine Finvestor at the top, and you've got all these printer tokens, children at the bottom, which are running on liquidity and imbalances and things like that. So that's how the mechanism kind of works there. We've got Dominance, one of the printer tokens again, by 36%. So you can see the printer tokens are really dominating. A real power move today. And they're up pretty nicely there. A lot of these are actually on our alpha list in our Telegram. So another good reason to join our Telegram today. Links in the video description for that. And we've got Pico there. Pika. Oh, by the way, we'll be launching something very soon. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, and from the Telegram. So you definitely want to get in there. We've got something that we're going to be launching. I think it's going to be pretty significant. So you definitely want to join up to that. That is possibly coming out today. Have to talk to our promotions lead, MVS, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to be creating something really, really cool there. Pika's coming out 28%. We got G-Baby. G-Baby in the house. Hey, G-Baby. How you doing, G-Baby? Well, G-Baby's in the house at 25. I don't even know if that's the right kind of meme, but we're up 25% on that. Dominance, of course, still there. Teddy Bear. Now, this is not a printer token. This is Teddy Bear. So if you guys know Moon King, he's a big influencer on X, got 110,000 followers. He used to be a big supporter of OG Teddy, basically a Troper's Teddy, and also the PDI. But he's moved away from that following Richard Hart, and now he's got into the Teddy. And this is a pump tires. Now I want to say certain things about this. This is also on our alpha list, so you definitely want to join the Telegram, get hold of that free alpha list, and we update it regularly. So you want to stay engaged for that. And we've got something big coming up too. We're gonna have some big things coming up, so you don't want to miss out on all that. And it's all free in there too, so it's pretty cool. Now, if you want to join our Discord, that is in the links in the video description. Our Strategy Club is kind of like the top level of that. So you got Strategy Club, and you got the Discord, and then you got the Telegram. That's kind of the rankings there. All right, so this is kind of where we are at the moment. Teddy is had a nice little pump, and I think this thing's going to run away, just like OG or Fork Teddy. not fork teddy, a tropit teddy, it's going to be probably going to run away here. Now, the thing is, this is a pump tire, so it is quite owner heavy, but presumably a lot of those guys are looking for the big run on this. And so hopefully we'll be able to get a good run from here and not worry too much about the holder class there. Typical what you see with pump tires. So check out the holders, decide if you think it's safe. You can check out Moon King and other stuff like that. But the memes are pretty cool, and definitely, along with Dark Horse, one of the best memes, I think, on the chain. And of course, they got two teddies now fighting each other. What's the other one called? Beer. The other one's called Beer. Beer. Anyways, we got that going on there. What else? We got Pulse Puppy doing pretty well up today, 12%. Pulse Die up 16% there. And I think Pulse Die had a little description here. What is it? Pulse Die is an innovative cryptocurrency, a clear objective to reach $1, blah, blah, blah. It's got a 4% reflections on holders and a 1% order LP. So there's a little tax associated to this this little one here. Kind of cool. Let me know in the chat. I was gonna say something I shouldn't say. I was about to let something go. Okay, all right. So it's too easy to get ahead of yourself. So I got to hold back the intel. Hold back the intel there. Almost let it out. All right. So we got Crow out. Crow, of course. We talked about that with the SEC going to be supporting Crow. Now this is obviously on Pulse Chain. That's up 11% as well. Gas Money, another printer token. So you can see how many of the printer tokens are dominating, right? Missile, Finvestor, Finvestor being different. The parent, as it were, the grandfather. We got the dominance token. We've got Gas Money down here as well. Remember, Gas Money pays you Pulse, and it's up at 11% there. And that's this one's been around for 2 hours, so it's been paired with Finvestor. So they could make new pairs. Pairings can be made, new ones made. But Vesta, it's been around for a while there. Missile as well, doing pretty well. There's also in our alpha list on Telegram. We got obviously the pump tires version of Die. So obviously there's there's good Die right from Maddie Allen. There's basically fork Die, the one that everyone's crazed about, and of course there's there's pump tires Die, and I think there's a fourth Die as well if I remember rightly. But there you got to pick up the winners there. Wrap Bitcoin, of course. This is Brisbane. Sparta. Sparta's been pretty popular. This is from Wendy's for Tendies, a Hex OG and that's up 7% today. The idea is basically you pay a tax, it burns a bit of Sparta, then it puts the rest of the tax and buys Wrap Bitcoin, and then later on it will then use that Wrap Bitcoin to buy more Sparta. It's kind of a nice idea, and it's got a pretty good brand, right? Pretty good brand with the old Sparta look there. What else we got there? Those kind of the moves over 5%. So we're doing pretty good. A couple of honorable mentions. We've got Up Token. We've got Time Dividend. What else we got here? Most Wanted. There's a couple others here as well. Not doing too bad. A lot of the ones that were running yesterday from Firewhale, SolidX, and others, they're just tapering at the moment, just up a percentage or two. But we didn't really see the chain move big following the crypto boom. So maybe that's coming tomorrow. The next day we shall see. But of course, without the SEC in the road now, we really have got a big road forward to really pump. I think we can all see that. Utah says, feels good to see a little green finally. We are earning this, says Utah. We certainly are. That's a really good way of looking at it too, Crypto Utah. TJ in the house there. Click, 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 click. All right, so let's get into it. Let's go to Titan next. We're going to move away from Pulse Chain. We're going over to Ethereum again, and of course, OmniChain, base chain, right? Base chain. We've got Titan X Hub here. This is from Mike Dean. Big shout out to him. And look, we've got some green movements finally again on Titan X. Not a breakaway. But because we're going to look at Titan X, have a look at that. Now, this is, of course, the founders. We just talked about Richard Hart and Pulse Chain. Well, the founder of this is Jake Sharp, right? Jake Sharp. He is, I guess you could say formally a Pulse Chain influencer, although, he can stream anytime he likes on anything. But this is kind of where we are at the moment. Let's have a look. That's the hourly chart. So not bad move on the old hourly there. A real nice pump. We're down at 6 euros, 11.35 on the price. And we pumped pretty much all the way to 13.17, so 60% gain. That's a pretty good gain on the old Titan X these days. But it's nothing to what we're going to see. We're going to see some pretty incredible stuff on this because the buy and burn is turned off, right? So it's got tons of ETH in there. We're going to have a quick look at that. Now, you guys know this is US dollar. So let's look at the daily chart so you can sort of see that. You can see it's almost a blip in the radar, but we're going to have to log this chart. And you can see we're sort of bounced off that bottom. So the bottom is pretty much around, let's say, 11,000. Let's say 6 euros, 1100. Let's say that pretty much that. I think that's the bottom there. Yeah, 1053. So 6 euros, 1053. And now we're at 10 zeros. Yes, what did I say? Sorry, 6 zeros, 10,000. And then we're now at 6 zeros, 1300, let's say. And what we really care about is the wrapped ETH ratio, right? So this is the one we're looking at, and look at that. That's a pretty decent pump there. This is the one that matters. And let's have a look here. So that is up pretty dramatically, up a lot. So because it doesn't do the percentages, but that is a lot up there. How much is that? That's probably, I don't know, what's that? 7%, something like that. So that's pretty cool. But let's have a look at the daily as well. And we can see the chart. There's still really low entry, right? Really low entry still to get in this. So I guess for me, this is kind of the zone you want to get into, Titanex, right? This is the one you're really in this. Definitely, like you could see it's come down in the wave two, come all the way down, and now it really seems to have flatlined, right? And now we've got such a bullish outlook. The buying bins are turned off. Omni chain's coming. It's a really good place to get in on here. You can thank me later. Do your own due diligence and all that good stuff, as we always say. Now, DragonX is the one that's really made a big move. Before we get into that, though, we've got Dan DeBono in the house there. Hey, thanks for the super sticker. Hello, all. Great day for crypto. Enjoying the show. I appreciate that, Dan DeBono. Big shout out there, and thanks for the contribution. All right, so kind of cool. We got Dan in the house. We've got to do something for that. Let's do some magical. There we go. There we go. All right, we're getting crazy today. All right, so kind of cool. Let's see what else we got. We got DragonX. Now, DragonX has kind of been the blue chip of Titanex, right? It's kind of been the blue chip. This is run by Eric. Eric is the one that's bringing the X game, Crash game for Firewall to Pulse Chain, and he's got a developer team, right? So we got a pretty big move here. We've moved from five zeros. We're back up here. Am I on the right chart here? No, we've got to go to the Titanex ratio. So my bad. So we were all the way down here recently, just on the hourly chart at 8.83, but we're now at 10.21. So you can see there's a lot of interest here. People understand that when it starts turning, the momentum starts turning, you got to get back into the blue chip there, and Titanex making a mad gain there. DragonX making mad gains. Now, a lot of people made a lot of money with DragonX. And this is the daily here. You can see the last has really started to really creep up. Had a little bit of a payoff here and a pullback, and then away it went. So very, very cool. Almost some sort of little bull flag there and broke out there, 10.21. Very exciting stuff here going on with the old DragonX. Now, you guys know we had this good little God mode wiki here. We were in the Discord, watched this live stream. We saw it go beep like this. And then, of course, we all came all the way down. So we got up all the way up to about 27, came all the way back down to 9.2, had a couple of little highs there, and then have bottomed out pretty much at 6.2 ratio. So that means DragonX is worth six Titanex. Now we're back up. DragonX is worth 10, which is not too bad at all compared to 27. So keep a look out for that. It's pretty much going to start going. Really going to find it hard not to see that go there. Now, X28 is the omni-chain version of the Titanex. The ratio to Titanex is pretty important, 0.8. So that has been pretty interesting. We're waiting for Jake Sharp, with his been developing last couple of months, to come out and promote that. So it's going to be cool. Shogun, of course, is going to go omni-chain. That's ticking away there with perpetual auctions and taxes. Obviously, as the volume lists, the Shogun will start accelerating in value too. That's up 5%. Hyper is up 18% and Hydra up 50%. 50% on Hydra. Hydra, of course, is built on DragonX. So DragonX is up 13%. Titanex is up 15%. And of course, we got Hydra up 50%. And I said to you guys, this was a no-brainer, Hydra. And you got to remember, the ratio used to be down at 0.05. And I was just like, my gosh, it's like a gift in the hand. And now it's back at 0.09. And of course, it's all minted out, right? All this Hyper and Hydra minted out. So it's game on. So there are 4 buy and burns, right? The Titanex, the DragonX, the Hyper, and the Hydra all sitting there with this buy and burn. And it's all turned off. So when they get turned on, oh my God, it's like crazy stuff. So, this is the alpha of the day. You guys are getting some free sauce here, some free ketchup, some free salsa, and get onto it. Do what you can. Thank me later again. All right, we've got Volt there up 22%. Big shout out to the dude. I'm hoping to get the dude on the show. Sorry, this is Volt. Sorry, this is Stevie D. I jumped the gun there. We got Helio, is the dude. Up 13.3% there, and we're looking for some really good stuff from the dude there. So we're going to hope to get him on the show, and he can tell us all the alpha about this stuff. He's a very good designer. Just such a great guy, and we're looking forward to all that stuff coming. And of course, they're going to base chain too. Base, all about the base. We got Vault token at the moment is up 22%. Of course, this is crazy mad scientist DVD. And so that's a nice little pump there. And the ratio there's 9,630 Titan-X. Not bad. Now, the other thing is, of course, with that, we're going to be getting the new project coming up, which is Bitcoin Genie. That can't be too far away now. Maybe we're a month away. So we'll try and get an update on that too. I haven't been into there for a little bit, so I'll have to go catch up on that. So that's going to be pretty exciting. What else we got there? Inferno ticking away there with Crypto Utah. Big shout out there. He's in the chat. So we got Crypto Utah there. Big shout out. And so Inferno there, that had the highest burn along with two other projects. So that they're obviously building a lot of stuff there. I think they're going on the chain too. I think Utah was telling us about that yesterday. Feel free to post it in the chat there, Utah. We got hopefully get their team on the show as well. So we're going to get a couple of the Titan-X teams on the show to do some interviews. Yeah, what a chance there. Now, Brandon was, he's got a big developer team, obviously a big Pulse Chain influencer, Titan-X influencer as well. And I think he lost his X account for some reason. I have no idea why, but I haven't seen him there on the X. So I lost mine too, mate. I don't know. We just don't know why. They don't tell you. They don't let you appeal. They don't answer. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. We got a few other things there. Phoenix up 29%. Baby Dragon X is up 24%. That's going omni-chain. I don't think that's happened yet. Matrix up 33% there. What else is going good? Element 280. This is another one of the dudes products, right? So the Helios and Element 280, that's up 18% there. Oribus, the big liquidy fork here kind of from Super Shadowy. He's amazing. I think he did a great job during it, like a bear kind of markety conditions for Titan-X ecosystem, and he launched this like a boss, 90% there. So pretty good there. Viper up 20%. What else we got going here? Let's jump down here. Now, we've got Uranus. Of course, this is the first project to go to base chain, and it's performed extremely well. People have been very happy about that, and we covered that from the start. That's been very good. The ratio at the moment, 2.57x28. Remember, it was a 1-to-1, so now it's 2.57. So people have done pretty well there. Almost, I think, got to three times as well. So, and that's going to take off, absolutely take off as Titan-X booms as well. And if it gets picked up by the Uranus, like the base community, man, it's just another amplifier. Stablecoin there for USDX, Ouroboros, looking pretty stable at $1. And then we have all these other new ones, which I haven't really covered, right? Flare, B88, S88, and now we've got these new ones here, H40, E280. So I think these ones are all probably the base ones, but I haven't really covered them, and I think they just launched like a little bit there. Actually, they've got the 33 days they've been around, so maybe they've been around longer than that. We've got H420 and E28 there. Like I say, I haven't really covered these ones, so I'm a little bit behind on those. Now, Smoke there at the moment is looks like that's just launched 11 days ago. I didn't cover this one either, but this is up 26% today, so not bad there. 1.45 Titan-X from the looks of it. Now, we'll probably have a look at those and try and get an update on that. Then we've got all these upcoming projects, right? So I'm particularly excited about Genie there. And I'm particularly excited about Taurus there. Taurus is from another influencer, Cryptographics, does some very fine work, and I'm hoping to get him on the show as well. So that'd be pretty cool. So we could have at least three of the teams potentially coming on the show to interview them about their projects coming up. All right, let's see what else there. Let's see, we got we got Cool from Dan. Big shout out to Dan. And we got Danny Man in the house there. My crypto account. Nice one there, Danny Man. Crypto Utah's in the house there. Yes, Omnichain Inferno is currently in testnet. There we go. There's the latest alpha from Utah Crypto. Big shout out there. And Danny says, should have used this account. Geek. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks very much. And of course, you got double accounts. That's how we roll on YouTube. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And a big special thanks to Danny Man for the super stickers and the support. And of course, we got, I don't know how many people we got watching at the moment. Let's have a look here. We're about 150 people at least watching at the moment. So if you're new to the channel, you loved crypto, you love Pulse Chain, you love Titan-X, you love things like that, get out to it. Now, I do have a little update for X1 chain from Jack Levin. So it is another chain, another founder. It's going to be the first fork of Solana. Big deal. It's also going to have all the bells and whistles. Now, we're just not sure of the time frame. I heard a Twitter space yesterday with the Polish community, and hang out with the Polish community. Hey, represent. Shout out to the Polish community. But those are things you do in crypto. But he's basically said that first of all, they're going to launch the chain and the token first. This is very important order. So this was never really clear. And he said that they're going to launch the chain, X1 chain and token early first. And then they're going to be doing the big burn parties. So the big burn party is where you take Zen and all the other tokens that they've minted over this last couple of years, and you're going to be able to go and get points for those, and then bid those points in like credit system into the auctions, and you're going to be able to bidding for the XN coin, the main coin of the chain. That's the layout. So it's going to be the chain, and the token will get minted first. They'll allocate them to the corresponding pools and things that they're doing, and then people are going to be able to go bid and burn their Zen. And at the moment, Zen's just come off the very, very low. I mean, it's so super cheap to get 10 billion Zen. 10 billion is kind of the market that you want to get, and it's like $500, $600 maybe to get that at the moment. So those are the multipliers, and so that is coming up. So we've got a bit of news around the order of things from the launch and the token to the burn parties, which people have been looking forward to. So that's that. But the other big thing is timing. Now, he was pressed on timing again, and he keeps joking about 2 more weeks. Now, it might have been funny a year ago, might have been funny 2 years ago, but no one finds 2 more weeks funny anymore. The time, I think, over for people using the 2 more week thing is over. Get your protocol out in the market, right? Get the market. Now, obviously, he's been developing X1 for, I don't know, was it 2 years now? Just keeps going. Now, it's a fork of Solana. He's doing a lot of upgrades. I appreciate that. But still no timeline there. So we're just going to have to keep open mind. He could launch it in 2 weeks. He could launch it in 2 months. But as soon as we get some insights, we'll try and get that out to you. But that's kind of, at least we got a little bit of intel out of him this time. And that is that the order of events. So that at least is clear now. That was not clear before. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm very excited about X1. I think it could offer a huge upside, particularly how valuable Solana is. Imagine getting on a new chain with all the bells and whistles that probably won't fall over and be stopped, and all that stuff's going to be full, because he wants a full DeFi approach, right? Which means he's working it up from the ground up. So he's basically redoing it so that it is more of a full DeFi solution, right? And we're in DeFi. We salute that sort of activity. That's what we want to see. And it's not as easy as people think to get to that, as close to a full DeFi solution as you can. All right, so Wookie in the house there, nice work. I appreciate that, Wookie. We're up to an hour, so I think we're probably going to finish up there. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Now, I just wanted to briefly pull up something here. I don't know if I've got it here. I want to get to the Midgard Explorer before we wrap up things. So the Midgard Explorer, a big shout out to the team. I'm not sure if they're watching the show today, but this is the Midgard Explorer. This is the latest block explorer on PulseChain, and it's pretty clever. It's pretty clever. And I just wanted to highlight one of the features on it. So they've introduced a AI onto this. They've introduced an AI, and so it's pretty exciting. So obviously they've got blocks and transactions. You can check out what's going on in the blockchain. They've got the gas price, right? So it shows you here what the gas prices are, things like that. But they actually have it so that you can actually paste in a Midgard tools here. Let me go. You got Midgard. So if you go to Midgard tools right on the end, and you go down to Midgard AI scanner, they've actually introduced a AI scanner. Now you have a certain number of credits, so don't go crazy with it. But if you've got a token that you want it to do an analysis on the security, and you're not a programmer, then this is kind of a way of doing it. Now you can also submit it to Pulse Police and other things like that if you're on PulseChain, for example. But you can paste your address in here on PulseChain and then run it. You get 5 free API usage tokens. So just remember that it's not like you're getting 100, you're getting 5. And you can put a contract that you think is maybe a bit dubious, and it will analyze a token scanner there. So that's going to be pretty useful and give you a rundown of the security of that token. So it's also going to pull out functions that may be exploitable by an owner. Maybe the owner controls certain functions. Maybe it's not it's transferable. Maybe there's all sorts of honeypot type of things that hopefully will pull out a lot of that stuff there with the analyze token. Now, you'll probably have to analyze a few tokens to see what it feels like. I just did one last night, and I was pretty impressed with it. It came up with some good stuff. And of course, you can use that then to go to the next level if you want to, see how good this particular token is. So I thought that was a pretty good feature there on Midgard. And of course, Midgard runs pretty smooth, and big shout out to the team there. So that is, if you haven't checked it out, save it to your favorites. Definitely a great explorer to add to the Pulse chain, and AAA tier, and really smooth. Seems to be running pretty well there as well. So you got all the tokens. You can click on tokens. It's got FAQ. You got your favorites. You can have your favorites. You got your settings. You got the Midgard stuff there. All these different tools. It even got an airdrop tool. So if you want to do airdrops, you can do that too. I don't know if it's active yet. Doesn't look like it's active yet, but those are sort of things that it's got at the moment. So kind of cool. Big shout out to the Midgard team. And they're going to keep upgrading and adding more things to that from the looks of it. So it's great to have such a great block explorer on the chain. So we've got like Otto, we've got 90mm, We've got the default Pulse Chain one, the IPFS. Now we've got this Midgard as well. I think there might be another one out there too, but those are at least 4 that you can use. And Midgard's kind of the next evolution, the AAA kind of version. Very excited about that. And they've got a Telegram, and you can ask for features. They're always adding new features, and it's only recently been launched. So kind of cool. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Now, special thanks to Danny Man, or Dan DeBono. Big shout out there. And, of course, Danny Man, big shout out. And, of course, if you guys are out there, you guys want to get into our Telegram, get in there, folks. We've got our free alpha list. Really is awesome, and has been performing like a boss for the most part. Now you'll get some volatility in that ranking. We post performance updates every day. If you want to go next level, you got to get into our strategy club. I posted my top 10 protocols for the bull market cycle in the last night. I also do monthly updates about the whole, crypto economics and Pulse Chain's ecosystem. So definitely check that out. I also cover Titanix and other things, other chains. So definitely check that out too. That is in the Discord there. $35 a month to join to that. It's kind of the top tier. Kind of the, I guess, the equivalent to Randy Alassi's no permissions, but on a much lower profile there in terms of the cost that you're getting. All right, there we got P-Dye in the house there. We got the Howdy Suit Man just saying hello. Hey, big shout out there, P-Dye. P-Dye to $1. Definitely looking pretty good. Number of protocols coming to support P-Dye out there. Aave forks and Maker forks and all sorts of things going there. The XUSD ecosystem there with the old Katie out there. We've got lots of different things happening in that space. It is pretty intense. Matt, it is. Yes, P-Dye. Yeah, Matt, it is. Hey, Matt, hope you're doing well. Matt and Barley is in the house. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let's wrap things up. Don't forget to get in there. We've got about 165 people watching at the moment. I do really appreciate the support. If you guys love the content, then definitely join up to the Kryptonite Show community. Links are in the video description. Like I say, if you are a project team out there, you want some promotional work, we're pretty much the only service on Pulse Chain that I know of, and we're quite a win-win project team. We really do care about the teams that we support and the people that engage with them. So definitely get out there. And it's going to be an exciting day. Finally, look out for the next video. We've got one of the biggest DeFi platforms going to be upgrading with massive new protocols for Nexion. So definitely check out Nexion and Neon. That is coming out later on today, that video. It is going to be a lot of fun. So, keep a lookout for it. It's not coming out in the next 2 hours, but it'll be out today sometime, probably in the next 20 hours. Within the next 12 hours, that's kind of when it's going to be out. All right, take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next show. And bye for now. Wookie's saying hi. Heidi hi. Heidi hi, Wookie. Heidi hi. All right, it's time to go. Let's get out of here. Let's rug pull myself. Rug pull.